Welcome to the show. I'm so excited today to have Tammy Mack with us. She is one of our featured speakers at the Human Design Conference this year. I can't wait to hear all about her revolutionary breakthrough scientific work that she's going to share with us today. Just so you guys know, so I don't forget, you can find out more about Tammy at her website at Tammy, that's Tammy with 2 M's, Tammy Mack at podia.com. And also, she and Marla run a fantastic Facebook group that I'm part of, all about the human design community, and it's called the Human Design Portal. So go to Facebook and find that. So I'm so excited, Tammy. You're speaking at the conference this year about the art of letting go.
I mean, really, that's truly what it is. It's the energy psychology of settling. And it's, we're always, when we first start a business or we first start a dream, we tend to make our mess our message. And this truly is my mess and my message. And it really is this addiction, this, being addicted, being stuck, being in a place of being super uncomfortable and yet not knowing how to shift out of that.
All right, I have so many questions already. We are going to talk about how this relates to human design, but before I get there, aren't we taught, especially as women, or especially in my era, I'm a little older than you, it's like, don't settle, don't ever settle. And now you're talking about settling. So help me wrap my brain around what you mean by settling, and aren't we selling ourselves short if we settle?
Well, there's such a difference between being, being settled in life and being happy and being peaceful and really feeling as though you're living a life that really sets your soul on fire. And so for many people, that can be just a comfortable life, and there is nothing wrong with that. But I work in mental health and addictions at the hospital. I work in the psych ward in a hospital. And so I really see the detriment of people being so uncomfortable in their lives that they're either numbing or they are using drugs to bring them high all the time. And also in my real life, yes, I have a beautiful, beautiful life, but there's this feeling of, I am here for more. I am so ready to experience more. And this conditioning of, why can't you just be happy with what you got? And I am so grateful for what I have. And yet I am ready. I have the capacity for more.
So it's really leaning into that dichotomy, that polarity of settling and being settled.
Yes, I remember years ago when that movie came out, Is This As Good As It Gets?
Mm.
And this was me and my ex watched this movie and we looked at each other and we love each other, but we're like, is this as good as it gets? And we're like, no, we both deserve so much more love. We both deserve to be seen and heard and loved for who we are, not for what it is that we do to keep this, this relationship going.
So lean into that for a minute. So you said ex, so I presume you're not with that partner anymore. So you didn't see a place of leaning into that relationship, right? Tell me if I'm prying too much, but I think there's something here about how do you know when to just be okay with what you have, and how do you know when to push through and break through it? Because what you said, we have to be grateful for what we have. And that's the place where all of us feel discontent, like we're grateful, but we want more, right? We've got the vision board, we want more, but nothing's happening. So how do you make that discernment that I'm going to leave my ex because there is more, or I can lean into this and make this better?
So it's funny, it is true. He is my ex. We broke up in 2010. However, we were both projectors and we knew what was going to be happening in the world. So we actually live together again now
Wow.
in very, very different ways. We still support each other like brother and sister. Like our love has evolved, has enveloped in a way where it's not that sacral passionate anymore, but it truly is in a supportive way. I truly believe that love has the capacity for any way that you want to enjoy it. So I wanted to say that first. The second is, you know, because you feel peaceful. When you feel peaceful, you really are so abundant and happy, right? You just feel it. You feel that flow. You feel that open-heartedness. You just feel it. You know that I am in flow. I'm in the zone. I am, everything that I want to be, and I'm happy. But for so many of us that really had a lot of conditioning in our lives, I was conditioned to believe that, good girls get a husband that supports her and takes care of her, and that's enough, right? Or I was conditioned that I wasn't worthy unless I was working. I wasn't worthy unless I was contributing. I wasn't worthy unless I was productive. And so this was something as a projector that I'm really, really working on right now, because some of the work that I do is invisible. It's untangible. It's not in the moment, the transformations that me and my clients work together for. It's in the future, and it's the ripple effect that
Mm.
happens when you open yourself up to, I am ready for more. I am capable for more. I am ready to step out of my comfort zone that's really uncomfortable, and I'm ready to experience more.
So how does this tie into human design then? Because you mentioned you're a projector, right? And your partner is a beautiful story, by the way. I didn't expect all that to come up. Beautiful story. But how does human design tie into this? Should I be looking at my chart, seeing where I should be settling and how to be more settled?
Well, first of all, I really don't want people to get into their heads about this because
Okay.
once again, it's something that you just feel, that you just know. However, that being said, my incarnation cross is the left angle cross of the alpha. My conscious sun is gate 41 of dreaming, of imagination, and it's the start codon. So it's the dreaming. What grounds me is being a leader of that dream and leading through democracy, leading through what is the best for everyone. But on my unconscious side is where I get stuck. And so my unconscious sun is gate 44, which is a fear gate of the past coming back to bite us all the time, or reliving the past over and over and over again, and feeling fearful of breaking away from that past because this is always happens to me. And then the gate 24, which is my life's work, is that of realization, of rationalization, and the stories that we get stuck in that keep us playing small in our life because we have a fear of the past and we have a fear of this is all that there is.
So when you're teaching at Human Design Conference, are you going to be going through the chart? Are you going to teach us how to intuitively know what's right for us, how to get out of our heads? Someone like me, open head. Um, what is it that you're really going to lean into at conference?
I've been around this so many times, and every time that I practiced teaching it, it came out in a different way. Originally, I was actually going to teach about the different survival-based archetypes that live within us. So I was going to talk about the inner child and the prostitute and the victim and the saboteur, that we all have relationship within our bodies. And I was going to connect that to the energy centers in our bodies. I do have a beautiful course that already goes through that information. So this time, what I really feel is I'm going to be bringing an energetic practice. It's called the Humble Warrior. And we're really going to learn how to get out of our head, get into our body, and really feel how that energy moves through us instead of getting stuck in our rationalizations. Because let me tell you, as somebody with the gate 24, I can reason and rationalize anything that happens in our lives. And sometimes that's not healthy for us. So when we can get into our bodies and do this beautiful energetic practice that I'm going to share and talk us through, you're really going to just let go, let God, and allow the energy to move through you.
Okay, I'm excited. I can use that for sure. Always, I'm in a very heady business here, right? And so always when I can get into my body more, I know it's going to really benefit me and my clients, right? The more we can really be present, the more it helps our clients. You mentioned that you work, I think, in a psych ward.
I do.
You bring some of this in? Can you bring any of this in? Like how are you able to use this? Because it feels like it should be so important to bring in, and maybe you're not able to yet, but surely you sneak it in.
Oh, I sneak it in. It's okay. So I do not talk about my, human design or astrology or any of my soul expression in mental health and addictions. And yet I can feel if somebody is having a spiritual emergency or a spiritual emergence. And a lot of the times, the people that come through the door over and over and over again, they do not love themselves. They don't have a sense of strong sense of self. Many of them are star seeds, and they are so disembodied. A lot of them have gotten these big cosmic downloads, and I see them writing on their boards like a beautiful mind, and they have no idea what it is that they're bringing in. So of course I can't verbally lead. However, I non-verbally lead like I do with my family. My family does not believe in human design or astrology, but it's the actions that I do, it's the energy that I bring that I see subtle shifts in them, right? Because change starts within yourself, and it creates a ripple effect in our families, in our communities. So when I come into mental health, I come in as the light, right? I work 2 days a week. So I come in full of energy. And I'm going to tell a secret that I do with my clients. I play cards. I play cards with them because I'm very mathematical. I'm very logical. And there's this beautiful thing that happens when we go into brainwave entrainment. When I start creating a rapport with my clients, I start, they might be starting with this, and then we open up a little bit more just by creating that connection, that heart-to-heart connection. And through the cards, they start relaxing because they're focused on the cards. They're not focused on everything else. And then just through holding space, just through giving them that sense of they are worthy of this time, that they are worthy of this healing. Doesn't matter how many times they go through this door, that right now they are worthy. Right now they're getting that help. And even though I don't give them meds, I'm not a psychologist. I help how I can help. And the best way that I can help is to remind them that they're worthy.
That's such a great message for anybody and everybody. I think I also have a lot of clients not in mental health, but just who are star seeds or who have big messages, who have felt really stuck, and in the past, some have been addicted, some have gone through mental health crises, as it seems like most of the world has at this point. And it feels like you're bringing such an important message to everybody, not just those who need mental health crisis intervention, right? Which is really the place you sit at if you're in a hospital. And so there's something there that you can help all of us remember that we're worthy and get into our bodies more.
As someone who has struggled with self-worth all my life, working in mental health, and I mean, I worked in long-term care for 15 years. I took care of my masters and my elders for 15 years before moving into mental health. And I have to say that serving on this level has allowed me to really create more capacity in my heart, right? When I can love the pedophiles, when I can love the unloved, when I can love those people that are in pain so much, that means I can love myself as well.
Mm. What are you going to say to the people that don't agree with that statement?
That's a you thing. That's not a me thing.
Ooh, good answer. Good answer. Yeah. It makes me want to ask, like, I'm going to just ask it. So do you believe there's evil in the world? I just kind of threw that at you, but when you talk about pedophiles and learning to love, and it's interesting because we're publishing a book about that very subject here. You don't even know that we're publishing that. And when you say that, we've gotten a little bit of backlash about, well, there's just evil people in the world. And I hear you saying, well, when I learn to love them, I learn to love myself more.
We all have that within ourselves. If I have God in my heart, if I have Archangel Michael in my heart, if I have Ali in my heart, I have Hitler in my heart too. I truly believe that everything outside of me is within me as well. And I truly believe that, people that hurt people hurt people. Hurt people hurt people. It doesn't mean that they're evil. I do not believe in this duality of evil. I do not. I believe that hurt people, lower density people, people that are trapped in what it is that they're trapped in, whether it's in their mind, whether it's in their circumstances, whether it's in their past, hurt people hurt people. I do not believe in evil. I do not believe in good and bad. I believe that good people do bad things and bad people do good things. And that is where I hold, the capacity for, is that there is no all one way or all one way. I believe that, we all have the ability to be anything, whether it's good or evil. I work in the shadows. This is where I love to work, because it's in the shadows that you can shine the light in.
That's a beautiful sentiment. You went with me on that. I appreciate that. That's, not everybody would have answered the question. You answered it beautifully. You obviously have huge capacity to love, and I believe heal others just through your capacity to love. So I'm very excited to hug you and get some of that healing energy in me. September in Colorado Springs at the Human Design Conference, where you are coming live, and we'll be sharing all your love, your wisdom, your expanded capacity, both live and on Zoom for those people who can't come live. Anything you want to leave our listeners and watchers with?
I do. When I got invited to speak at the Human Design Conference, I was at my lowest low. I was sitting on the couch, crying my eyes out because I just worked 3 12-hour shifts and I was exhausted. And I was like, I was at my lowest low. I was in the pitiest of pity parties. And then I got the invitation to speak at the Human Design Conference. I want to remind you that we create on our baseline frequency, not on our high highs, not on our low lows, and we're always worthy to receive regardless of where you are. And wherever you are at this time, you are still worthy to receive.
What a beautiful thing to end with. Thank you so much. The guest today is Tammy Mack. You can find Tammy at tammymack@podia.com, and she co-facilitates a fantastic Facebook group the Human Design Portal. So go find Tammy, but even better, come to the conference live or virtually and be part of this fabulous energy. Thank you so much, Tammy.
Thank you for having me.